Pop, how you doing, man?
Tell you what, that was the most calming pre-production meeting we ever had.
Oh yeah, nothing like it.
We're going to try to thread the needle today, everybody, so bear with us.
Yeah, we are trying to thread the needle at NFL speed with Myles Garrett coming at you unblocked. This is just a mess. I mean, I see, we're talking about Chris Sims talking about players treated like zoo animals. This is a complete zoo right here. We're trying to put things together. This is way out of our technological depths. What's happening today, and we're doing the best we can.
This.
If there is a brilliant, young, aspiring mind out there
wants to work for free,
create a software where you can remote interact on a podcast and share a screen. Please, for the love of God, please do that. Somebody.
Isn't that called Zoom?
We can't get it done to the specifications of Dom and Pop that way.
There you go.
Just give me something simple, please.
Hang in there with us. It's gonna be good. We're gonna run a draft simulation for the Commanders. It's gonna be awesome.
I mean, we got Gail King going to the moon, and I can't do a remote draft with my Pop in less than 30 minutes of setup and 4 different pieces of software and 12 emails.
Boy's a little salty this morning.
My goodness.
We got this.
Goodness. Anyways, believe it or not, we got another kickouts of the week, as if that's not the kickouts of the week. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming to you guys today. Obviously, this is the time where I'm going to beg for all of you to please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the program. If you're new here, hang around for a few minutes. I'm sure you're already laughing. Hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps us out a bunch. Really appreciate all the new viewers, everybody who's coming in and joining the program. But we would love for you guys to just get notified when we're coming around. Obviously, every Monday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. But definitely hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Just a great way for you to show us you appreciate us. Anyways, today we are getting into NFL mock draft. So we are going to do both a Commanders draft simulator, which is been the bane of my existence in this young day so far, getting set up. But we are going to set it up. We're going to run it. We are going to screen share it. You guys will see it on the screen. Hopefully, if you don't see it on the screen, I had some form of meltdown and said, F it. We'll see where it goes. But you guys, this the beautiful thing about this right now. I have no idea where this is going to go, but you're going to find out before me. So we're going to simulate the first 4 rounds of the Commanders draft. That should be a good time. And then we are going to do the top 10 picks of the NFL draft as well. Obviously, the draft is coming up right around the corner here.
So we're going to make those picks. We're going to do our own mock draft. So we're going to do a meeting like we do every year. If you've been with us a while, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. So
and this time the Commanders are not in the top 10, which is the greatest vibe check blessing of all.
While it did make this specific podcast a little more complicated, it has overall improved the scope of our lives. The Commanders not being in the top 10. That's definitely a big blessing. Super grateful for that. But so you want to start with the kickouts, Pop?
Let's do it. Let's have a little more fun here.
Yeah, let's do a little bit. So quick kickouts of the week. The Commanders take the top prospects to Topgolf again this year. That's been their thing. That's what they did last year. Last year they talked about it, and Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels were all on record saying it was a blast. They enjoyed doing it. They like getting out with the other guys. It was just fun to relax a little bit. The idea is, at least what the Commanders brass says, their idea behind it is that they are going to give kind of it's supposed to be like a break. It's supposed to be an opportunity for the guys who are going through this really serious, really hard draft process to kind of just get an opportunity to have some fun, relax, eat some chicken fingers, hit some golf balls, keep it low key, keep it more light. Whereas most of these teams are trying to like crack these players or, get them under pressure. Whatever.
I guess there was a little controversy last year, right, where Jaden was concerned, I'd say, going in. That was a reporting anyway.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Going in, yeah.
How'd that work out? All the same jokers this time last year. We're looking at you, Chris Sims, Mike Florio. We're talking about how Jaden Daniels was a diva and he didn't want to be a part of it, and he's going to end up going to Vegas because he doesn't want to be in DC. Yada, 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 yada. Scoreboard. That worked out pretty well for us. And it turns out that the people who actually do this stuff for a living, rather than, and we fall into this category, right? But we always default to the people who do this stuff for a living, rather than the people who make a living talking about it. It turns out the people who actually do it, they know a few more things about this process, and it worked out. And not only did they get Jaden Daniels, I love to point this out to people, not only did they get Jaden Daniels, they also got Mikey Samerstill, great player. They got Brandon Coleman, starting caliber NFL offensive lineman in the third round, not necessarily an easy thing to pull. They got tons of other good pieces in that draft last year that they're continuing to build and develop with this process. So trust the process here.
Ty Fulton was there this year.
Yeah, pumped about that. But Chris Sims and Mike Florio both criticized it. Chris Sims said that players are treated like zoo animals, and Mike Florio calls it a sociological experiment and asks why don't other teams do it. Again, to both of you, kick-ots. That's why Adam Peters does this for a living and has won championships doing it, and that's why you guys talk about it. What
a ridiculous take.
Stupid.
Zoo animals.
You're so bored.
They're not. They're. If you think they're there with their notebooks and their recorders, and they're just watching every move every one of these players makes, and trying to decipher information from it, you're a fool. No. I'm sorry. You're a fool, and it just shows that all you're trying to do is get clickbait. I said it. All right?
They're hanging out. They're hanging out. Of course.
We might have eliminated Chris Sims and Florio as future podcast guests. That's okay.
I'm okay with that.
I'm all right with it.
I'm okay with that. I don't know that they were ever in contention, to be honest with you. But, yeah, it's okay, let's call a spade here. Are they not hanging out there, trying to catch a vibe, see who's laughing, who's enjoying themselves, who's getting along with everybody else? Of course. They should be observing that type of stuff, right? That's part of the point. But it's when you go out to a work dinner with somebody that you just hired or something like that, you're just trying to get to know them, trying to feel like, do you fit in with what we're doing here? Are you a part of what we're trying to build here? Are you trying to be a part of this program?
You got 30, 40 guys in a situation like that. You're not going to be able to get a read on every one of them. Of course, if somebody acts like a jerk,
yeah,
it'll stand out. Otherwise, I think it's just what they said. It's just to relax the guys. They still have tons of one-on-one time. It's a ridiculous take. It just, you don't have anything better to spend your time on pre-draft than talking about something stupid like this. And by the way, categorically, saying no other teams do this is false. There are other teams that do similar type of group activities. Maybe it's not exactly Topgolf. Topgolf happens to be very close by to a training facility there, and it's a fun time. So anyway.
And it's, it's something fun they like to do. And you're right. This is the best thing that the two of them have to talk about in the pre-draft process, because the other things would require some level of knowledge of ball and to be able to have some kind of opinions. Which,
Mike Florio has a you-know-what for the Commanders. He always has.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's ridiculous.
We're working on...
I got a question for you. Is us trying to run this draft simulator mid-podcast a sociological experiment for Diamond Pop?
Well, I think it went exactly how the hypothesis was predicted. I mean, I think a meltdown was inevitable. Pop sitting there not pressing a single button, just going, I don't understand why this is so hard. And here I am setting it up, sweating bullets.
I only found the simulator, typed the outline, all that. But anyway.
Well done.
Let's get on to our draft talk.
Well done. If my MacBook melts, we'll know why. But getting into the draft talk, man.
My PC seems just fine.
It's a lot of good stuff. Pop, holding strong for the PC gang, man. You know what, Pop? If that's how you want to use your platform, by all means. By all means. Anyways, getting into the draft.
Love my Android.
getting into the draft here, we got 5 picks. Round 1, pick 29. Round 2, pick 61. Round 4, pick 128. Round 6, pick 205. Round 7, pick 245. We're going to stop our simulator at round 4 because, look,
even the round 4 picks, I have no clue who they are. So,
unlike some of the aforementioned personalities, we know our place. We know we don't know anything past round 4, and even round 4 might be stretching it. Yeah. So we're doing our thing
and
here.
Who knows? They might have more picks, when this is all said and done, right?
Yeah, and that is the part of the fun and whimsy of the pre-draft process in the NFL. As we sit here and we analyze, and then everything hits the fan, and you have no idea what.
I'm on record saying something happens at running back, because if you pick a running back, you start to have a crowded room unless you're going to keep 4, which is problematic. So does a trade occur in that running back spot to add a pick? I would be a late pick if something like that happened, but
but what is I think a guy like Chris, I think if you're drafting a Travion Henderson, I think you're not worried about putting Chris Rodriguez on the practice squad or potentially cutting him.
Right, but he's already 4 deep. You got...
Right. He would be number 4, right?
Today.
Yeah. So, you're not afraid of letting him go. You probably want to roster 4 guys, but we'll see. Getting into it here, let's set the table real quick. So, obviously, we've acquired Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel, Marshawn Lattimore in trades, and then in free agency, we added Will Harris at safety, Javon Kinlaw at defensive tackle / D end, Jonathan Jones at cornerback, Dietrich Wise at defensive end, Nate Herbig at guard, Michael Gallup at wide receiver. And then we brought back Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, John Bates, Noah Brown, Noah Igbenogany. So what all these signings did is very similar to what we did this time last year, which is we filled all the holes. Now, some of these holes we filled with, we did a proper spackle job and we matched the paint like Laramie Tunsil, right? We really filled that hole at left tackle and made a giant improvement. Some of these holes, we put a little toothpaste over it and we hope that the landlord doesn't notice when he walks through, right? If you're looking at defensive line, for example, I think Javon Kinlaw has potential to evolve into that. But you just got some better starters, some more functional pieces there. But what this allows us to do is what we've talked about a million times, which is go best player available.
Well, so, I think what they did here, and we spent a lot of time on free agency, so definitely go check it out. We broke this down in every bit of detail that you can break it down. These aren't all the guys, by the way. These are just the notable top guys. I didn't want to, list off everybody. But, I think they've also gone after, I think Javon Kinlaw is the biggest example of going after somebody that fits a profile of what they want. And it's somebody that's ascending in their career. They're basing a bet there. They're placing a bet that the way they've been able to coach up other guys last year and get a lot out of these veterans, he's a guy they're going to be able to coach up and see him have his best year of football yet. That's the bet they're placing. Yep. So, and we're going to trust in these guys because they've been delivering, with 12 wins last year. So, it's. But I agree with you. I think it sets themselves up. Adam Peters said it in his presser recently. We can field a team today that I feel really, really good about. And you're going into a draft like that, you got to feel pretty good about that. I did throw Marshawn Lattimore in there for those of you keeping score at home because I really feel like we obviously didn't get a whole lot out of him last year, although I think his play was better than people mentioned. But that was really a play for the future and for this year's roster. So that's why I put that in because we gave away draft capital to get him this year. So that's why Marshawn's included on that list.
Yeah, I think the Marshawn play last year was as much a play for this year as it was the end of last year. I think if you gave AP a little bit of truth serum, he'd probably tell you he would have liked to see him get healthy faster and contribute more last year. But who doesn't feel that way? But I think hopefully he turns it around.
I'm sure it was one of those situations when they talked to him and got into it. He's like, yeah, I'll be good in a couple weeks. Yeah. But when they actually went into it, they found out that wasn't the case. He had a couple setbacks. blah,
Yeah,
blah,
soft
blah.
tissue injuries are tricky. But
But
no
here we go. We're
excuses
going to
coming out of
walk the
next year.
tightrope now. It's
This is close.
simulator time.
So if you see the simulator on the screen, well, if you're seeing this episode, it means things worked out at least well enough for us to get to the end of it. If you see the simulator on the screen, that means everything went perfectly. If you do not see the simulator on the screen, well, deal with it. We're going to read the picks to you anyways. Here we go. All right, start draft. All right, so pausing it real quick. Top 5. ESPN has the Titans taking Cam Ward, Browns taking Abdul Carter, the Giants taking Travis Hunter, Patriots taking Mason Graham, and the Jaguars taking our boy Armand M at offensive tackle, and then Shadur Sanders at number 6
Wow,
to the
Raiders.
So there's some fun stuff. Who just got Geno Smith? So I guess that gets
that's actually happening.
Gets interesting, but let's continue to let this thing go here. Let's see. All right, so that leaves us at number 29. Our current pick, they're ranking Shamar Stewart as our best option. But what are you taking here, Pop? You got between Shamar Stewart, Donovan Izikaru. You could go Trevion Henderson. We could go Mika Ibuka. You can go Malachi Starks.
So cool how it pops up all the potential guys.
Yeah, a lot of options here.
What do you think, Bob? I'm going to go just because of some of the pre-draft buzz and people being pretty happy if we can land this guy. I'm going to go Donovan E. here at edge.
Donovan E. I like it. Okay. I'll rock with you on that. I think I would go Malachi Starks, but I wouldn't be mad at
you. Really
Henderson
you really like Malachi
either. I really like Starks.
I mean, we're in the draft room. We're working this out.
Yeah. What's that? You got a call from Martin Mayhew. Wants to know if Emmanuel Forbes is available here.
Malachi Starks is like pretty far down in the ranking. I guess this is a ranking that comes from the ESPN guys.
Oh, Luther Burden 3 is here as well.
I'll let you make the final call. You're running this thing, but you'll be the Adam Peters.
How do you feel about Henderson?
I mean, I'm DQ. I don't think we go Henderson yet.
Okay.
I think we look for a back in the second round. That's my opinion.
All right. I'm down to go Starks then. I would take Starks here.
Okay.
I would take Starks.
Let's hear from you in the comments.
Disappointing Pop, but let's get Starks
all safety. Okay.
I'm drafting Malachi.
It tracks with our last pod and what we were saying there, so that's cool.
It does. So it's drafting us.
And you'd be pretty happy if he lasted to that pick and we ended up with Starks. So
I agree. I do find the amount of time this is taking to load becoming mildly concerning here. There we go. Okay, good.
Patience is a real strength of this family.
There goes Quinshawn Judkins.
Who's going to be available? I'm getting nervous.
All right. Trevion Henderson
you don't take Henderson in the first round.
All right, well, run that one.
Slam it. Run it to the podium.
Easy. Who in God's name is drafting Quinshawn Judkins ahead of him?
Yes, sir.
We'll take it.
Yeah, I've run this thing several times just trying to prep for this.
And he's always there too every time?
He's always there. He's going to get the boys siced, and then we're going to break our hearts.
Yeah, then he's going to go 12.
You'd be pretty happy with that draft that those are your first 2 picks off the board.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Let's react to it as if we're in the time, given that this wheel of death is running.
Jizu, please. 2 more rounds. 2 more rounds.
I can see the sweat pouring off.
There we go. Okay, roll it again. There goes Jalen Milroe to the Giants. That's notable.
Well, tell me this ain't fun.
Quinn Ewers to the Buccaneers is notable as well. Caleb Johnson to the Packers. That could be fun.
Got to get to the fourth round, so it's going to take a few minutes.
Going through here, fourth round. Xavier Restrepo to the Jets. Cam Scatterboo to the Cardinals. All right,
Who we got
now?
Damn, a couple of running backs at the top. We're not going running backs again.
If you could get Evan Neal in the fourth, you'd be very happy about that. Personally, what do you think?
Ty Felton.
Let's see. Let's sort. Let's go here. Let's sort our wide receiver.
Oh wow, look at you.
He's different Felton, but no Ty.
He gone. As we expected, he'd be gone by then. But you never know. That might be a trade down opportunity, right? Where you want to, if they're as high on him as we're hearing, maybe they trade down to pick him up.
Yeah.
Add a pick or trade up, I guess.
It does sound like they're very high on him. You just take best edge available here, right?
I mean, or you could go linebacker, Demetrius Knight. You know, maybe I don't know what Demetrius looks like, but maybe it frees up Luvu to play more of that edge role.
Well, I think with McGee, I think they're hoping McGee's gonna contribute
some
more. Some
additional depth at linebacker wouldn't be terrible.
Right, hey, you know what? I defaulted to.
I just feel like we're reaching. I mean, I'm just kind of going through best player available. If we're trusting ESPN board, that's which is all we can do. I'm sure Adam Peters' board looks very different than ESPN's board, but I really want to drop down, just looking at the logic, to the 106th ranked player at this point.
Well, you're picking 128, so
yeah, but I can get number 90 or number 90. 94. I could get number 90. What is it? 94 at linebacker.
Demetrius
to me, at this point, I'm gonna go best player available. I can't go running back again. I'm not gonna go safety again because there are already two positions that I picked. I know you're disappointed not to get an edge, but that's how these drafts go.
Well, I did that. That's on me. We could have gone with our boy Donovan E.
It's on you, Adam Peters. So I say we go linebacker with Demetrius Knight.
Drafted.
That was fun.
We're going to sit here and sweat a little bit, but it's going to go through. Went through.
So go back to the top of the draft.
Well, let's let this finish up here. There we go. Done. All right. So Washington Commanders, we got Malachi Starks, Travion Henderson, Demetrius Knight Jr. for our draft for the first 4 picks. And they're saying that there's about a 51% chance that Malachi Starks is there. Less than 5% chance he's there at the next pick.
That's a good pick.
They're saying Travion Henderson, there's only a 30% chance he's available at that pick.
Which would be a great pick.
Which would be amazing if he is. And they say a pretty good chance Demetrius Knight Jr. is going to be there. But once you get past round 2, a lot of the times, rounds 3 through 7, people's draft boards vary hundreds of spots, literally, from team to team.
So look,
so ESPN, it's really hard
thank you. Thank you for this. That's a cool tool. That's a very cool tool. Love it.
A lot of fun.
The boys are available. We work cheap right now. Early in the career, we work cheap right now.
Well, we're working a competitive rate.
Relatively
competitive. Speaking. The term is competitive rate, not cheap. Competitive rate. Let's take a look. Let's look around. Let's see where some other teams landing here. Let's take a look at the Baltimore Ravens.
I love
it. James Pierce Jr., they would be so all over that. What a great pick that would be for them if he's there. That's one where I think you'd be watching that going, he's only 2 picks away. He's only 2 picks away, and then they take him. But, yeah, just adding depth on that defensive line for Baltimore. What did the Giants end up doing?
Yeah, I think the more I look at this, Malik Starks pick, if he's available, would be a great pick. That's good by you. That's good by you.
The Giants, they got taken Travis Hunter, Shamar Stewart, and then they're going to go.
They got second and 20, right? That's a good draft for them.
Well, no, Shamar Stewart.
He's that guy that's the more of the run stopper, right?
He's a super raw prospect right now.
Right.
Well, he's the guy that we both said we want to stay away from.
Right.
And then they got Jalen Milroe, which is kind of fun in the 3rd round. What did the Eagles
He's getting some hype.
Eagles took Donovan Jackson late in the first, and then Darius Alexander. I'm not going to pretend to know any of these guys.
Yeah. How about
But I'm
Cowboys?
sure Eagles fans will tell you that's the best draft that's ever happened in the history of the NFL.
Of course.
And it has to be, right? It's Philly. Round
I love it
one,
if
they took
Cowboys went offensive tackle instead of a running back
yeah,
or wide receiver at that spot.
offensive tackle, cornerback, and then wide receiver. So pretty standard there. And then don't forget with that fourth round pick, they got Jonathan Mingo. Don't forget, that's big. That's like when Shanahan wrote RG3 on the board the year after when we traded the pick away. He wrote RG3 up on the board for that pick. It's like they're going to do that there. They're going to write Jonathan Mingo up on the board.
Oh, that
for
was a
fourth round
blast.
pick.
Let's hope you can
That was a
stitch in
lot of
that
fun.
video. That was a blast.
A lot of fun. I think that should. I don't see any reason that's not going to work, but
it's working.
Yeah, it should be. It should be just fine. It should be just fine. Stop.